All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So just caught the Robert Saleh press conference where he said that no changes are going to be coming to the play caller, no changes are going to be coming to quarterback. And, one thing I've always said from the beginning, when I look at like offensive struggles with the Jets, I don't have a problem with one specific player, one specific coach, one specific game, one specific play. I really, it's not like an individual, an individualized thing. My issue with the Jets offense here is the fact that they're at where they're at, which is the worst in football. They're horrible on third downs. They're horrible in the red zone. Can't pass the ball. Can't run the ball. So many different issues, right? We all know it. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole. It's just a complete joke. My issue is that it doesn't really seem like there's any sort of urgency to flip the script, to turn the tables, to do something differently, right? Maybe pass those play calling duties from Hackett to a Todd Downing. Can we really get that much worse? I mean, really, like a graphic popped up on the screen, last night during the Raider game, and I talked about this in the recap video. It literally said the Jets' third down conversion rate is sitting just above 22%, which that number, 22%, by the way, of course it's the worst in football by a long shot. The next best team is the Cleveland Browns, sitting at 31%. Going into yesterday's game, haven't took a heavy look at the numbers since, but it's the worst number in the last on third downs in the third down conversion rate. It's the worst number in the last 50 years. Think about that for a second, and then compound that with Hackett, with Saleh just saying, yeah, it'll click at some point. It's week 11. The season's slipping through our fingers. We got Houston with a rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator, first year head coach, first year offensive coordinator, first year play caller, rookie quarterback, second overall. Crazy enough, Ryans came from San Francisco. They're kind of building, like they're trying to build, a 49ers of Texas, right? Like they're really trying to instill the culture. How is it possible that the first year regime Houston Texans look better than the New York Jets, who did the same exact plan 2.5 years ago? It makes no sense. No sense. And it would be one thing if the Jets offense was struggling, but we were trying multiple things, swapping different quarterbacks in there. Oh, we need help on the right side of the offensive line. There's a tackle that's proven, that's a veteran, that's out there, that's worked out for us. We have the money to pay him. It's Lyle Collins. Where's he at? He's not on the team. Let's just bring him in. Let's try it. Let's swing the bat. Don't strike out looking, Joe Douglas. Don't strike out looking, Robert Saleh. Let's go down with a fight. If we're going down, let's go down with a fight, trying new things, right? If Zach Wilson isn't getting it done, maybe pop somebody else in there, see if there's a spark. We saw that with Mike White, who actually expected Mike White to throw for over 400 yards in his first game against the Bengals a couple of years ago. Not many people. Some people did. Not many people, though. I don't know if the Jets coaching staff believe that. Right? Of course, different team, different situation, different OC, different play caller. But at the end of the day, the lack of urgency drives me up a wall. The lack of fire, of any sort of intensity, any sort of want to fix it, it just gets to me. It gets under my skin. It'd be one thing if the Jets were trying a bunch of things and Saleh was, hitting the post-game pressers like, we're trying to figure it out. We just can't get it rolling. We can't get it on the same page. We've tried multiple quarterbacks. We're trying different offensive linemen. We're bringing in guys mid-season. We traded for, a piece or two. But we're just not doing anything. Not doing really anything differently whatsoever. And again, it's not just Hackett, it's not just Wilson, it's Uzomah dropping passes, it's Lazard dropping passes, it's injuries, it's turnovers, it's penalties. What did we give up? 8 penalties yesterday for over 80 yards, 83 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Think about that. That's essentially an entire football field, assuming that the opposition is taking it out from, assuming that the opposition has a touchback. That's a free, full field for the other team in penalties. And this is not the first week that penalties have been an issue, where they popped up. We need to see some accountability, and there's not, according to Saleh, 15, 20 minutes ago here, no changes are coming. So what message does that send to a defensive player? After Sauce Gardner, by the way, said that they're not playing complementary football. After Garrett Wilson has voiced his frustration over and over and over again. What message does this send to the locker room? You know, Saleh wants to take point out shortcomings on the defense side of the football, like especially after that Charger game, like, oh, you know, such and such could have fell on the ball and we could have done this better. It's like, do we really want to be taking a shot at the defense right now, which has been the only sort of lifeline that this team has had? I mean, come on. We all know why this team is where they're at. It's the offense. It's the quarterback play. It's the offensive line. It's play calling. It's the system. But we're content. You know, it just seems like, and when I say we're content, I'm not talking about the fans and I'm not talking about the players. I'm talking about Saleh, Joe Douglas, and Nathaniel Hackett, the ones running the show. That's the vibe I'm getting, right? I said this in the recap video, tongue in cheek. Obviously, it's not the case, but do they value winning? Like, of course they do, right? Obviously. But the vibe, like, if you talk to any fan of football, they would say, like, okay, well, they're the worst offensive football. They can't run, they can't throw, they can't protect. They don't really have a lot of quarterback production. There's play calling issues. There's starting out slow issues. There's issues in the red zone, issues on third downs, issues with turnovers. And we're just going to do the same thing over and over and over and just wait for it to click, right? Everybody else is just, we're just waiting for the offense to click. You guys will see. It'll all be good then. Well, when's it going to get figured out? When's it going to click? Week 15, week 16? It's week 11. You know, it'd be one. Hey, look, if it's week 2, understandable. Week 4, first month of the season, I'll give him a pass. Week 6, all right, it's a bit annoying, but we're in week 11. The season is passing us by. And by the way, we're in the stacked AFC, as everybody knows. These wins are hard to come by. We're going to need these wins. So 2 straight losses to the Chargers, to the Raiders, you know, AFC, you know, American, you know, these are conference games here that the Jets are losing, which is not going to help later down the road. But I can't even put my mind there, right? Wild card race, this and that. It just seems like we have so many more problems that we have to deal with internally. We have to get the offense on the right track, and it just feels like Saleh, like everything is starting to trend downwards. And instead of doing something about it, instead of just saying, no, this is my football team, right? I want Saleh to take a page out of the Antonio Pierce playbook. By the way, Saleh was out coached by Pierce last night. He advanced to 2-0 as the interim head coach for Oakland, for Vegas, which is awesome. I like Pierce, but what did Antonio Pierce do when he took over? He made changes. He said, no, this stuff that we're doing under Josh McDaniels, it's not going to fly. Talk to the players. What are we doing here? Right? Who the best players are going to play. The players that want to play are going to play. Jimmy Garoppolo, we're going to put egos. We're going to put contracts. We're going to put veteran names. We're going to put all the other stuff aside, and we're just going to focus on football. Aiden O'Connell, the rookie, the mid-round rookie, has looked like the best quarterback in camp. He's going to play. Sorry, it's my team. This is what I want to do. And we've seen the Raiders in back-to-back weeks respond. They're 2-0. And then you look at it from the Jets side, and it's like, yeah, we're horrible in tons of different metrics offensively. And it's like, no, we're good. We'll keep doing the same thing. And, you know, for I don't want to sound like a broken record here. Will one change fix everything? No, probably not. But at least you try. At least you send a message to the locker room saying, I'm about wins. I care about the New York Jets. I don't care about other people's egos. I don't care about the contracts. I don't care about the draft status, where these guys are picked. You know, I don't care about whatever. Like, I want to win football games for the guys in this locker room. And it just doesn't really seem like there's really that urgency, right? It just kind of seems like, all right, we just got to get through this season and wait for Aaron to come back next year, and then we'll be ready to go. I mean, what kind of attitude, like what kind of message does that send? What kind of attitude does that show to the world, right? From an optic perspective, like, what you think about if you're Sauce Gardner and you just listen, like, you're hearing this. No changes are going to be made. Again, we all know what the problems are. So frustrating. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for sticking around. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. And by the way, these past couple of weeks have been extremely crazy right outside of the channel. So I know the uploading hasn't really been as frequent. Actually in the middle of the move right now. So yeah, hopefully things, things should go back to normal about midway through the week. Hoping by like Wednesday, Thursday, things calm down and everything will be back on track. Same kind of setup. So anyway, thanks so much. And as always, go Jets.